Hi, my name's Joe. I'm a fat black belt. Let's talk about weekends. Whew, this was a rough weekend, you guys. So there's two things going on. The first is there was a lot of socializing, a lot of eating with family, which means a lot of family like they bought lunch or whatever yesterday, so we just have a lot of leftovers sitting in the fridge. Um, I went to so Saturday was our regular park day. Afterwards, everybody wanted Mexican. Unless I get the fajitas, which I usually do, but I didn't yesterday, it gets pretty tricky to eat Mexican food in a way that is not a little bloaty. So I got like a bean and cheese burrito. At least it was good for the fiber. Uh, the so that lunch was okay, but then we went to a bonfire where we burned awful people in effigy. It was great. Uh, and that was fun. It was a really good time. Plus, we made s'mores. But literally, the only thing to eat there, apart from the veggies I brought, was hot dogs. So I roasted hot dogs until I legitimately think I made myself a little sick on hot dogs, you guys. But they were good, and I didn't eat any s'mores. So I mean, like hot dogs plus cucumbers and carrots, which is what I brought. I'll take it. I'll take it. It's not bad. The other reason that food has been sketchy this weekend is that money's a little tight right now because there was some unexpected fixing of my car to do and stuff like that. Just a lot of stuff came up all at once and hit fast. Not great. It happens every once in a while, and I think generally the Beltline suffers as a result because there's a truth and a fallacy to the idea that eating healthy is expensive. A little bit, this is complete horseshit, and a little bit it's not, right? Like, if you are a poorer person, chances are you kind of live in a food desert. And we've all seen that, right? And if you live in a food desert, if you don't live any place where you have easy access to a grocery store where you can get food, yeah, it's really hard to do. Um, I think, though, the bigger thing is not a lack of access, I think, to funds so much as it is a lack of access to free time, which is a privilege that many people do not have. I do. I have it. Good. Thanks. Awesome. I feel good about that. But I think free time is the big issue, right? Because it takes, 5 minutes to ask DoorDash to bring you McDonald's. It takes 10 minutes to drive through a fast food place. It takes 15 minutes to walk to one. But it isn't fast to cook food always. And it's especially not fast if you're not good at it, I have a good pan, I have some good knives, and if I wanted to, I could go thaw some chicken in the microwave in a few minutes, and then I could whip up chicken and veggies in 20 minutes. If I wanted to, I could even throw the veggies and the chicken. I could throw everything in the rice cooker and push a button, and then it would go be-doo-doo-doo-doo, or whatever. Mine makes a different noise. What noise does my rice cooker make? So it turns out that my rice cooker just goes beep, 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 beep. That's disappointing. It should play me a nice song. The fact that I have never noticed that, I think, implies that I wouldn't care if it played me a nice song. The washer and dryer play a nice song. Anyway, my point is, I can do that fast. If you do not have the skills, if you don't have the good knife, if you don't have a cutting board sitting out on your counter, if you don't have a lot of counter space, if you don't have a microwave, if you don't have a reliable stove, these are all huge, massive impediments. So I think it's time and access that really makes it a pain in the butt. Like literally I am thawing meat in the fridge now ahead of time because it's a big old chunk of meat. But if I wanted to go make chicken and veggies right now, I could, pop it in the microwave. I could chop up some veggies. I could do it in about 10 minutes, whatever. But if I did not have a microwave to defrost my chicken, then we're talking an hour. If I do not know all the little tips and tricks that one picks up over a lifetime of being in a kitchen, we're definitely talking an hour. And that's assuming I have fresh veggies on hand, and maybe I don't. Frozen veggies, fine, great. Frozen veggies are great. That's also not a thing everybody knows. So it's about knowledge, it's about access, but I think the big thing is about time, and I think that's the real impediment to people eating healthier. And also, by the way, sometimes you're hungry now and you're like, man, do I want to wait an hour to eat? Sometimes that doesn't sound good. So it's all about, the ability to plan, the ability to read your hunger cues, thinking ahead. This is why meal prep is so popular, but it isn't a reality for everybody. So, and it wasn't a reality for me this weekend, which is sort of why I have it on the brain. The grandparents, not mine, but my kids, my wife's parents came over yesterday, and we had a nice lunch. But they brought us Chinese food. American Chinese food is not the healthiest food ever. Not as healthy as, say, Chinese food. But it's not half bad, especially if you don't load up on carbs, which I did not, and fried stuff, which I did not. I got some Szechuan beef. It was good, but not Szechuan enough for my taste. Considering where it came from, though, which is to say a strip mall on the south side of Columbus, it was about as Szechuan as I can expect. Anyway, that was it. The kids wanted pizza later, so I had a piece of pizza while we were playing D&D. And that was basically food. No, that's not true. I also had a brownie quite late at night. The wife and I were watching some Critical Role, and there was a brownie urge. The rest of those brownies are in the fridge, and hopefully the kids will eat them. There's going to be no training today, as much as I would like there to be, because my daughter starts their dance rehearsals tonight. I have to take them. So I am going to go over my sword stuff here in a little bit in Yon living room, which is significantly cleaner than it was during my last video. That's nice. We spent a lot of this weekend cleaning, which is always a good time. Ran some family D&D over the weekend, and they got brutalized. Just wrecked. They're not dead. They sort of won, but it was a really demoralizing fight versus an enemy who kept stealing their spell levels and magic items, and it was rough. It was a rough one. That is not what you guys came here for, but there you go. You get some bonus content, which is good because the main content was pretty boring. Come Wednesday, though,
Yeah.
that'll be. We'll see.